Good morning, it's Dave Crane, another daily motivation for you. And I did promise I'd come on as soon as I could do to explain about being home alone as a dad. Now, this is kind of important, I think. First of all, if you're a dad, I'm going to share some really good ideas for you, but also for mums and for kids and for families everywhere around the world who are wondering, I've gone away on vacation, I've got 6 weeks away after the school holidays start, and he's on his own, is he going to be okay? Well, it really depends. Now let me share with you what it's like. First of all, if you're a home alone dad, what happens? In fact, if you're not a dad at all, then this will be completely new and alien to you. So I'll explain exactly what's going on. Now there's a lot of noise in the background. Let me show you first of all. This is what's going on. Can you see that? Transformer. Yes. And all the cars that are blocked in as a direct result of that being put up overnight. Oh, they'll be happy when we have to go to work. But I'm not starting a fight because my car's parked on the other side and I don't care. So that noise you hear in the background all the way through is literally because they're doing roadworks. In fact, it used to be a road, now it's like, I'm not sure what it is. I think they're building Mordor. From Lord of the Rings, where Frodo had to go and get rid of a ring? It goes all the way around there. I wouldn't be surprised to find orcs wandering around tomorrow night. But there you go, that's just the way we roll here in Sharjah. If you're wondering where Sharjah is, it's just outside of Dubai, the UAE. Google it. So, talking about perspective, right, what happens is when it comes to the summer, predominantly in the UAE, might be true for other places, but probably not as much, because you're an expat, a lot of families just basically leave. And the wife takes the kids, this is how it usually works, it doesn't always work like this, to go and visit their family back in their home country. It could be India, it could be UK or Australia, wherever it is, and they go away for the 6 weeks because it's very hot here, and during those 6 weeks or so in the summer there's not a lot to do apart from just the usual stuff because you can't go outside, and the kids get bored and we go, are we there yet, are we there yet, are we there yet, are we there yet, and all the normal stuff that nags, as you've probably worked out if you are a dad. So the dads are left alone during this time, and during that time they're also thinking, right, woohoo, I've got some freedom to get my head together and all the rest of it, and everyone's going, ah. But actually, that whole 6 week period turns out to be a bit like Ramadan, or like Lent, or some time when you're cleansing your system. It's a very spiritual time for dads, and it might not be appreciated at first glance for it to be like that, but let me explain to you exactly why, and how it all fits in together, if you can hear me above the noise of the building site over there. The time that you spend on your own, it's generally about 6 weeks. It could be longer, it could be shorter. I mean, you usually take a holiday to catch up with everybody at some point anyway. But during that time, you have an opportunity to get your head straight. Now, if you're married and you're a dad, or even if you're a dad of some description, then the one thing that goes through your mind all the time, and this is not something to be thrown away because it's super important, is am I providing enough for my family so they're covered by a roof over their heads, they've got enough food to eat, and they're enjoying their quality of life? Am I doing enough as a dad? And that's a fear that keeps you awake at night all the time. And it doesn't matter how much money you earn, whether you're super rich or not so rich, you're always thinking about providing for your family. Now, they're in front of you, so you get daily feedback like that a lot as well. But it also allows you to see how things are progressing as you go to work, and you actually do go to work and you fight for what's out there. Whether you're doing a job that pays the same salary every month, or you're going out as an entrepreneur or small business owner, you're still going to battle every single day on behalf of your family. When you've got 6 weeks off, you get to put that whole time in perspective and work out exactly why it is that you do it in the first place. Now that's not something to be thrown away because it is kind of important. I'm constantly thinking about the fact that on a day-to-day basis, all I do is make sure that at the end of the day, my family is fine. I don't often get a chance to look after me, but this is a very important point, and it's true for every dad. When you get on a plane, and well, we don't do it anymore, it's now a video, but in the good old days, and you are old enough to remember this, the air stewardesses would stand there and say, okay, if in the case of an emergency and an oxygen mask comes down, apply it to yourself before you apply it to anybody else, and then we do the fire exits are here, here, and here, and so on. Well, do you know why we do that? The reason we do it is because if you put your oxygen mask to somebody else first, like your kids, you want to make sure they're okay, and then smoke blows all the way through the cabin, it means that you'll pass out and your kids won't be strong enough to carry you. Now it's quite sweaty, so I'm going to disappear and get something to mop my head, so excuse me for being so uncouth as to go dab dab dab, but it's really hot, but I want to be outside because otherwise it's a little bit dark in the house. So basically, if you don't look after you, first, then you can't carry your kid off the plane. As a direct result of that, you will both perish in a burning plane. Now, I hate to say this, if you're going on vacation, you go, no, I've got a fear of flying anyway, Dave. Why would you say that? I hate you. Maybe not with that voice, but the same kind of thing. So, it makes sense looking after yourself first to make you as optimized as you can be to look after everybody else. Now, this whole period of summer break is exactly what that should be. It's an opportunity for each dad to recharge his mind as to exactly why he's doing this stuff. Now, I say dad, I don't mean disrespect. It might be that you're a mother and the family goes away. You might be the key provider, or you might be a single parent, and it's a slightly different perspective. All I can talk about, and I'm sorry if it sounds very sexist or whatever, I'm talking about it from my perspective, and hopefully that'll fit in with a lot of other points of view as well. So, as a dad, as a parent who's left alone, you're thinking, right, I can recharge my batteries, and you must do so. You must spend this time thinking about how you need to get yourself back on track. When you were single, you could do what you wanted. You went out partying, you went with your friends, you had a great time, you met lots of girls or lots of guys, and you just went out and enjoyed all the sports, and you went to all these different nightclubs and really let your hair down. Now, as you're older, it should be the case that, yeah, you can do all that again, but here's the thing, you don't want to. You got it out of your system, that's why you got married. When your friends turn around and say, hey, let's go out for a beer, or let's go out for a drink, or let's meet for a coffee, and you're thinking, wow, I've got all this time on my hands, you probably won't call them, because it's not on your normal radar, because the actual time that you need on your hands, bizarrely enough, is not 6 weeks. All you need is about 20 minutes, half an hour every day extra for yourself to be in your man cave. Now, this is a big hint for ladies, and I'll probably mention this again at a later date, as I disappear, and put this to dab dab dab. Let me put something in perspective. This will stop a lot of relationships from going down south. I don't mean to Australia or the south of England. I'm talking about is when you have stupid arguments between you and your other half. When guys come back from work, what they need to have is a half an hour, 20 minutes, half an hour, maybe even 15 minutes, alone in their man cave. Now, man cave doesn't necessarily mean they've got a big dungeon like Batman where they've got all these gadgets, but to him, he has. And in there, he needs to be left alone during that entire period of time. During that period of time, he's doing stuff like going on the internet, looking at sports, reading a newspaper, maybe he's going on Facebook, LinkedIn, doesn't matter. He's basically, in silence, recharging his batteries. Now, what tends to happen during that time is when you come back from work, when a lady comes back from work, or she's at home, or whatever it is, she comes in, says, how was work? It's all right. So what happened? Nothing, it's just work. Go on, so you're a bit quiet. What happened? Oh, nothing. Oh, did somebody say something? No, it's just a normal day. Why are you making a big deal of it? Well, I'm not making a big deal of it. You're making a big deal of it because you won't tell me anything. So something must have gone on. What is it? And they want to get to the heart of it, but all the time the guy is thinking, leave me alone. 10 minutes, please, 10 minutes alone, and then you can have as much of me as you want. Because that's how our brains recharge, in silence, with lots of clutter all taken away and just nothing going on. And there is nothing going on in there. You're just trivial and you're basically filling your battery up again. And after that, they're all yours. Now, the difference is true between men and women. For women, when they come back from work, or even when you come back and you meet them, whatever the deal is, they want to talk. They want to go blah, 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 about all the things that have happened during the day, all the things their friends have said, all the things that happened at work or happened with Facebook, whatever it is that they've been doing during the day. Again, I don't mean to be sexist, I'm just keeping the conversation flowing. But what they want from you is not a logical answer, guys. They want you to just shut up. Don't tell them what they should do. Don't tell them that you would do it this way. They want you just to listen. And that's how they recharge their batteries. That's why they're interested in talking to each other, shopping, gossip, soap operas, because they have a different language that works internally. Now, this isn't me making it up. This is from conversations with experts in the field. Dr. John Gray, who wrote Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus. Alan Pease, who wrote Why Women Can't Read Maps and Men Don't Listen. These are real facts, okay? So that 10 minutes or 20 minutes in that man cave to recharge your batteries and be left alone during that time is all you need. So when you've got 6 weeks on your hands, it's actually bizarre because you come home and you go, wow, freedom, hey! And you go on the internet and you read your Facebook or whatever it is you need to do. You read, you catch up on the sports, find out how bad England played and how well everybody else played in comparison, whatever it is that you're doing. But then you're all right. But then you're back and you're saying, right, where's the family gone? You got all this spare time. Now you can do a couple of things. You can go and you can check out the box sets that you've been waiting to watch for a long time. You know, new stuff like Zoo or Walking Dead to catch up on, a Fear the Walking Dead, which you've always wanted to do. But you never get around to doing. All these box sets are always useful for that kind of thing. But there is a certain time where you just go, you know what? I'm really bored. I'm really bored. I feel really lonely. And where's my family gone? And you're waiting to hear reports and get WhatsApps from your family. Now, the key is you have 6 weeks. Don't waste it being upset. Don't waste it going, oh my goodness, what am I going to do? I can't wait for you to come back. Because then you're doing a misservice to you and your family. All you're going to do, and you should do it anyway because it makes the wife feel better, is say how much you miss them. But at the same time, it's an opportunity for you to practically change everything. You've got to set yourself a couple of projects. Now, part of those projects are cleaning out all the clutter that you maybe don't get a chance to work on. That's a bit bright, isn't it? I'll just keep moving around, looking to avoid the sun. Is that better? There you go. So part of that time should be spent going through all the things you shouldn't have anymore. So it's getting rid of old books, old CDs, clothes, shoes. I did a whole episode on that. Get rid of all that stuff because only you know, and you really can't be bothered to go through it. But you've got 6 weeks. Take a day, take a weekend, and just clutter free all your stuff. The missus usually does it for you, but at the same time, you go, mine, don't touch it. I've had that since I was 15. And there's no reason for you to still have it because you've not used it for 6 months, probably since you were 15. So go through all the stuff that you need to get rid of. That's an important thing. But also set yourself a really cool project. Learn a new skill. Write a book. I'm going to write a book. Another book. I'm going to write a book all about public speaking and all the all the tips and tricks of being an entertainer, motivator, and public speaker. I'm going to create it as a video, as an audio, and also as a physical book that people can read. That's one of my big projects for the summer, as well as other things I'm going to be doing. So set yourself a target that's non-work related. Your work is your 9 to 5 daily stuff. But you sometimes have special projects that you can never really get around to, but you've always had a bit of a pipe dream. This is the time to do it. This is the time to get yourself engaged in it, because what you do very well is focus on one project. If there's lots of different things, you'll never get around to it and you'll distract yourself and do something else. But set one thing that you've got to do. When you get to the end of that, you can set another one and redo it as well. One of the things that you can do during all this time is decide that maybe, if you don't go to the gym on a regular basis, it's time to work on your body too. As you can see, look at that, body beautiful. Not sure if that's quite true, and you're probably going, what, Dave? What are you talking about? I've got all my gym equipment here. You see that? All my CrossFit stuff. So as soon as I finish doing this broadcast, I'm going to get stuck into doing that. Why? Because I need to, because I'm fat. Or at least to reduce the options on having to wear wider gear. And maybe as I declutter my wardrobe, I can try out those jeans and say, you know what? I'm almost going to fit in them. I can do that over the summer period when I've got all that spare time. Now, it's really strange because wandering through the house last night after I dropped the girls off at the airport, part of me was going, woohoo! Freedom! I can now chill out. I've got my dog as well, so Ash is wandering through the house. But you need to have energy working. You need to have reasons, otherwise time stops. And it really does. You end up going through a period of time, and you can do this. Maybe if you keep yourself busy, it won't happen because you get in the flow, you get in a zone like sportsmen do. But it's very easy to become depressed about all this extra time. It's very easy to say, you know what, I've got too much time in my own head and I don't like it. A very good friend of mine hated being left on his own. He'd just have to have distractions, catch up on old friends, and that's exactly what you should do to make that happen. So you have your pet project. You've got to also have the pet project of telling your family every day how much you miss them and love them, but also all the friends that you don't normally get a chance to catch up with. Maybe the ones that you were friends with when you had a life years ago before you settled down and got married. Sorry, I shouldn't have said it like that. They're the ones that you should say, you know what, let's set a date. And don't just say, let's hook up. Set the date. Tell them when you're going to meet. Say to them, in reality, okay, this Friday, or tonight, or whatever, and make sure you set the date and don't make a really rubbish excuse. Now, the thing is, you're not going to go out hunting for lots of hot chicks and stuff, because you're married and you're old, and they wouldn't look twice at you. So you can actually do what all guys do, which is this something that women don't seem to understand. Certainly my other half does understand. When I go out with the guys, and we go for a lads' night out, which is a very rare occasion, what we end up doing is going to a sports bar. It's really hot out here. It's Dubai. go to a sports bar, sitting at a table which has TV screens in front of us with usually some kind of soccer or some kind of sports on, and we just talk. And that's it. We usually don't move or go anywhere else. We'll sit there until they say, right guys, it's time to go because the security are going to throw you out and there's nobody else left. And we go, oh, okay, and we leave. That's it. And we're not even very good at drinking anymore. I shouldn't really talk about drinking as such, but it's true. You're not a party animal, you're actually a dad. And that changes the whole thing. And if you manage to combine party animal with dad, then good luck to you. Tell me how you do it, and send it on a comments on the page, and I will distribute that with everybody. But in most cases, that's a part of you switch off, and you've actually wanted to switch off. Well, that's why you settled down and decided to get married, because you'd come to the end of that kind of situation. In most cases, some cases you're like, let me out, and that's not the case for me at all. So you have to do a couple of things. First of all, find time for yourself, recharge your batteries, find a project that's really interested. Keep onto your family and tell them you love them on a daily basis. And this is easily forgotten about, by the way, because as you get into your projects, suddenly all the time blurs. You forget how much routine of getting up, getting to breakfast, taking them to school, picking them up, blah, 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 gets you from a day-to-day basis. That's probably your normal clock. When you've got 6 weeks, time flies by, and you won't even know what's happened until weeks disappeared. So on top of all these things, you've got to make sure that you go and visit old friends. Catch up with them, because what happens is if you leave it too long, you'll only ever see them when it comes around to Christmas, or bumping into them in a shopping centre, or when they're about to leave. Yeah, they leave. They go away and say, oh, I'm not seeing you for ages. Tends to be in Dubai Rugby Sevens that most people catch up again, and you wouldn't even know if somebody's been gone 10 years because you only ever see them then. Well, now's the time to catch up. You'd be surprised in these relationships how much they've grown and how much they can help you. Because remember, you've put in time with these guys. They know you, they like you, they trust you, they want you to be successful, they respect you as a parent as well as a friend, and if they can help you in any part of business, they will. You spend your entire day going out hunting for new clients. You've already got people who can refer you, and they'll do it with some of their clients because they really, really care about you and they want you to be successful. Maybe they do, maybe they don't, but certainly you can have those conversations with those key people. So those are my suggestions and my tips for enjoying a long hot summer. Look after yourself, make sure you drink plenty of water. For two reasons. One of it's really hot if you're based in Dubai or the UAE. Secondly, if you've got a hangover, you'll know about it if you don't drink water. And if you've got any comments and things to share with me, please feel free. I'd love to know, because there's only so much that I get aware of, and I'd love to hear what different opportunities are there that I might not know about. I'm travelling to Eastern Europe, got a big gig this weekend, got a load of other gigs lined up all the way through the next part of the summer, so I might get a chance to travel and see my folks back end of July, beginning of August, but every single day, as much as I can do, I'll share everything with you. So let me know what you think. Make sure that you're subscribing to this video just by saying follow or whatever pops up on your phone to let you know what's coming up, and I'll have another idea and I'll share some more stuff with you tomorrow. Meanwhile, have a great day, look after yourself, and remember to brush your teeth. It's on the list of things that your wife would tell you about, and never leave the house without shoes on. Alright, cheers, bye!